I wanted to do a quick intro AltSpace tutorial to go alongside the PowerPoint presentation that I showed in class and attached in files. I was trying to show this in class, but casting for some reason just wouldn't work. It works fine at my place, so I got to message IT and find out if it's something with like figuring out the right Heron Wi-Fi to be on. We'll try to do it next time we meet. Next critique, we'll just see what happens. So I'm going to do one of these tutorials for AltSpace and then a Sculpt VR tutorial next, and those will be the programs that we focus on for the next couple assignments. So I launched AltSpace. You might have to update it. By the way, if you ever have to do any updates to your device, if you go into Settings, Device, into About, it'll say Software Updates over here if there are any updates, that you need to make. So hopefully everything's up to date. Don't sign out at all because, like I said, they're all logged in. All of these headsets are logged in through the shared Heron Facebook account, and that password hasn't been updated. So if you log out, you won't be able to log back in. And if the password were to be updated, then it would mean that everyone would be auto-logged out, and we'd all have to log back in individually. It's just like a whole headache. So just stay logged in. Don't mess with anything. So the first thing you're going to do is open AltSpace VR. Free app should be on your apps over here. And it'll take you to this page where you'll have to make a profile. This is mine. And then customize avatar. That's all over here. It'll take you to this screen. If you go to the main menu, it'll pop open this tab full of different events going on. So you can see popular events. This number shows you how many people are in them, and then you can click on each one and get a description. So it might be kind of fun to check out a couple of these ongoing public events. See if there's something fun. Ooh, a singles mingle. Shark time. Yeah, there's a lot of fun stuff, a lot of fun communities here. So then also, if you go down to, so first of all, if you go into settings, some basic ones you can change, some kind of general. You want to make sure Enable Worlds Beta is clicked on. Personal space bubble, I like to have on. You don't have to have it on if you want to do, hugs with people. Comfort, I like to have blinders off. Blink, teleport, transition. This setting for turning, that's just my own preferences. These inputs, teleport aiming, I like to have on for arc. A lot of these don't really matter, but they kind of will when you're setting up your world. So just kind of go through and mess with these to make sure everything's good, or to your specifications. Down here at the bottom, you'll see, so discover leads you to this table of events. Events shows you more of like a calendar for everything going on. You can search for different kinds of category events. And then if you click on worlds, this is what we're going to be using, is making our own world. And so right now you've got, these are all the featured worlds. You can see again how many people are in them and the room capacity. So like 0 out of 30. Popular worlds, click up here. And then if you click on My Worlds, so these will only show up when you've made one on the desktop. So refer back to that for the PowerPoint about how to set up your profile and make your world on PC or laptop, on your computer first. Then after that's done and your information is saved, then it'll appear in VR under My Worlds. So I'm just going to show you one that I've been working on with my friend. I think it's this one. Been working on a couple. Right, this is the world that I've been working on with my friend. It's super wacky. So you can move for your left-hand controller by clicking the joystick. You can also teleport by pressing the holding down the B button on the right-hand controller or the dominant hand controller to teleport from place to place. And you can also fly around your world. And so you do this by going into your settings. So if you click on settings and you go down to items, you'll see flight tool, spawn, and you'll see this flight tool appears. And if you click down and move in any direction, you will fly around your VR world. So this is how I've gotten into position to make all of this stuff. Like this is this Hellcat tower I was working on with my friend. Yep, real crazy. So the cool thing about making a world, just like in Tilt Brushes, this could be as big as you want it. So I'll show you how I've kind of started to make all of this, and this was all made with public kits and through inputting different sounds and images that I found online. And again, to input sounds or links or images of your own, or elements from Tilt Brush, which I'm not super familiar with yet. It means doing that on the desktop first, and then importing them, which will be saved to your gallery once you're in AltSpace from your desktop website, from the AltVR website. So anyway, but you can also just do a lot with the kits that are public use in here, which most of this was made from, and then I just distorted it and changed the color and the lighting and started to cobble stuff together to make this crazy, weird universe. So, some tools. If you click on World, Editor, and Host Tools, this is what you're going to use once you're in the editor. But first, again, the main general tools are down here. I didn't really go over this. So this is, again, all of the information about controlling the world, changing your comfort. Again, items. Some of these tools will only be in certain rooms because this is my room. I have access to all of them. So this is like the pen tool that I have. If I wanted to start drawing things, I could, and then I could save it like as an object. So like a very simple kind of a tilt brush, and then I could change. Now this is an object that's imported into the world that I can change the scale of, and put into the world. So I'll go into that later, but just wanted to show you this main basic menu first. And then you also have like a laser pointer. So kind of fun if you have any use for that. Okay, so those are the items. And then some other tools around here. You have like these emojis for interacting. They'll just kind of like pop up over your head. The mute button, you can also mute other people and block people. Go back in your title screen, go into your home menu, take a selfie. Cameras, you can take a snapshot. There, just took one. So now that's saved to my gallery. So that's the main kind of menu for AltSpace, but now let's get into the world editor. So close out of that. So if I click on the world editor, it pops up environment, clipping, toggle flight, toggle environment, edit mode, editor panel. And then if you click on host tools, it'll show you the host panel, amplifying your voice if you're working with someone on a world, message everyone, and mute people. So this is good if you're in kind of a world with a lot of people that you're creating and you want some control over it. That's going to be this right panel. But what we're going to be using to edit the world is going to be in this panel. So we're going to pull up the editor panel. So okay, this editor panel this shows basically everything that I'm working with, and it gives me control over each individual element. So first of all, the skybox that I'm in. The skybox is the world. So when you click on skybox, it'll show you different kinds of, main background settings. So like if I wanted to, let's just click on one so you can see, and it'll change it from this hellscape to this. No, it's beautiful clouds, but it's fire for the hell. So you can flip through these and kind of make your basic custom background. Again. So that's AltSpace are all of the ones that are included. So basics, these teleporters, web projector to import different elements from online. Skyboxes again are the background. Different kits. Okay, so this is all kinds of, and there are so many different kinds of kits that include objects that you can import, and interactive objects. Props. It's very themed, and there's tons of them, and of course you can change and augment each one. So if you wanted to make like a world that's nature based, this gives you down to the tiny components. You could literally build something brick by brick. You could make like a whole city of your own just by importing each of these elements and then changing them. So let's say that I wanted to import like this pillar. It now becomes one of my objects. Here it is. If I pull if I pull left to right on the trigger, it'll change the size of that pillar. And then if I move up and down, it'll send it back through space. And then, you can rotate it as needed to put it where it needs to be. So if I wanted to, and it shows you the bounding box, how you're able to move it. So if I wanted to have it be astride this planet, bam, that's a new element that's added. Now, if I hover my mouse, if I hover my joystick around from object to object, you'll see the outlines of the bounding box of each of these objects. So then you can take one and select it and change its positioning, etc. You can also refer back to those individual objects. Say I've got 46 different ones in the world editor. And so right now they're locked in position because I'm good with them. But some of them won't be locked, and they're kind of in alphabetical order. So like that pillar that I just made is not locked because I have not locked into positions. If I go into the settings, I can manually change, the scale and the positioning to get it exactly how I want it. And collidable means that it can intersect with other objects. So if I like where it was, then I can lock it, and now it's locked into position like my other objects. And if you want to go through and find something, again, it'll just be if you have, you can name them whatever you want to make it easier to find, or you can pull it up because they should be in alphabetical order. But it gets pretty confusing. See, I haven't changed the names of a lot of these, so if I have to find a light pole, I've got so many over there in that little area I made. So it would take a while to find them. But that's just because this is like a fun one. Okay, so those are the kits. Like, so many options with these kits. And a lot of this is really fun and interactive. Like, you can make, games. Like I was saying, you can make, like, basketball and beanbag and, like, rockets. You could, like, put, like, a rocket thing in, and then people could play with these and take these rockets out. And now that's, like, part of the world, So there's so many options, and they're making new ones all the time that you can use for free. So those are the kits. The SDK apps, these are like interactive quizzes, things that are connected, to the internet for like parties, like different games, basically. There aren't many of them. If you go into featured ones, some of these are different too, and ones that people have made. So check out, the differences between the featured ones, the ones that belong to AltSpace, different colored backgrounds. It's very open source, so people will make models and then share them. So you can, it's made for public use. And then when you go to mine, these are elements, that are yours, that you've uploaded. So like I have some happy birthday stuff and some photos from this world and photos from AltSpace. So these are, some are tilt brush photos. And then I don't have any kits or skyboxes, but I believe, and I might have to look into whether you need a cable for this, but it should be fairly easy to take tilt brush items or sculpt VR items, import them as kits, so you can make a world where every element is made by you. You can also build this in Unity, which is a program, like a 2D desktop program that we might go into later to make some really advanced and very personal worlds. So the editor panel brings up this panel. When you're in edit mode, everything is made to be selected and edited. You're not viewing the world as it would be publicly, but once you click out of edit mode, now everything's, you can use this rocket, for instance. Everything's interactive. You can move around the world, and actually, start to test it out and see how it looks. And nothing, when you click it, will change because you're viewing it as anyone would, any visitor. So that's the rough basics. Again, all of this, I've animated through different features in the kits. The sky's kind of the limit here with the possibilities. So I recommend just trying to mess around with it. Make sure it's set to private first, unless you want people popping in to, interrupt and see what you're up to while you work. But have fun and build your own universe.